Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 2 of Bangtan Gentlemen. I am Danny Villalobos. With me, as always, is
Russell Fung. Hello.
Russell Fung. All right, buddy. We're here because we're this show is here to celebrate the biggest band in the world, BTS, and also the entire world of K-pop. Like this show is going to cover the entire spectrum because BTS is, and I think I said this in our description, they're the starship that we're using to traverse this K-pop universe, and it's a very exciting one with a lot of talented individuals. So let's get right into it. I have last time, if you remember, if you watch our first episode, if you haven't, go check it out. Russell did an unboxing of what was it? It was earbuds that his little brother gave him for Christmas. Yeah. So, well, she says he didn't need any earbuds because he has so many. But hey, they're BTS earbuds. So if you don't want them, Russell, give them to me. But anyway, so I got this, guys. Check this out. I got their facial healing pads, Medi Heal. Yeah, their facial pads that Jin and Jiman swear over because their faces get sweaty and oily, and so this helps them heal and keep their youthful appearance. I mean, they're still young, so, but this is for the future youthful looking. And I probably should have got something easier to cut this open, but because not only is there masks in here, but I was promised in the description there's something else in here.
Photo cards?
Maybe. And yes, sir, they are.
Whoa, what are those?
I don't know. They said they were photo cards, but these look bigger than the ones you got. So, but here's the facial pads, by the way. Just Yep. Oh, there we go.
It's got the BTS. Okay, name on it.
No, it's them, man. It's theirs. It's their product. And someday when I get rich enough, I'm gonna get that brother chair that they advertise too, because that thing is sick. I need a chair like that.
What about that?
I will probably never leave my house. Yeah, these are huge. These are definitely not the same thing you guys had that you had last time. These are like gigantic.
Oh wow. What the?
But they said they were photo cards in the description, so that's kind of a misnomer there, false advertising. But it doesn't matter because these are pretty cool. They're okay. So let's just go through them the way you did last time. So there's RM, and there's two of each, and they're both in kind of similar poses, but a little bit different. There's Suga, and there's V with the guitar. I didn't know he could play guitar. I knew that. Here's one for Angie. There you go, Ange. He's smiling at you, kind of. That's Tay. That's Tay. That's V's cool. That's V's cool face right there, or surprise face because he didn't know to get the picture taken. Here's Jungkook doing what he does best, singing. Jin either writing lyrics or jokes because he is the clown of the group.
Looks good in red though.
He does look good in red, and then of course our hope, J-Hope. And we're his hope, which is awesome. Hobie. And last but certainly not least, G-Man. Little G-Man. Like even though Jungkook's the youngest, for some reason, I thought it was apt that James Corden nicknamed him Baby Mochi. Baby Mochi, yeah, because they just call him Mochi, right? I think is his nickname. But anyway, all right, let's get to the news. That's the fun stuff. But hopefully every show, like BTS has so many things out there that hopefully every show we'll be able to have an unboxing of something. Maybe some albums coming in the future too, because I really would like to get a couple of those. But anyway, let's get to the news. So why don't you start us off, Russell? You got the news handy there, or?
Yeah, I do.
All right. Okay, what we got up first?
This we found on the internet. It says V Sweet Night has been #1 in 118 countries and is the song with the most #1s in iTunes history.
118 different countries, the song is #1. Like that is I mean, these guys just keep on breaking records, like
Oh.
individually, together. Like they just and I believe this is from, and maybe by the way, let's say hello to our producer T-Shug, Teresa. She's hanging out. She'll pop in every once in a while when we need her help. Like for example, this is a soundtrack to a TV show, correct?
Yes, that's correct. Itaewon Class. It's like the biggest K.
Oh, that show. Yeah.
Where can you see that? Is that one of the shows that's on Netflix?
It's on Netflix. You can see it on Viki, and it stars one of V's best friends as the lead.
Oh, one of these best friends.
Uh-huh.
Is that the one that he went to the audition for BTS for? Because he went with a friend that he was or not for BTS, for Big Hit, but he wasn't going to audition, but they told him to, and he did, and he got picked. No, okay.
He met this friend doing his K-drama, which was I don't know how to say it.
Angie is trying to get me to see that show, and I do want to watch it. It's definitely on the list.
It's so good.
But so it is in English already then.
It has
subtitled. I mean,
yeah, it has subtitles.
Okay.
Please.
Anyway, so all right. So there's that, and then the next item up is BTS has been nominated for the very first Brit Award, which is, I guess, Britain's version of either the American Music Award or Grammys. I don't know which one it is, but either way, like you guys know my take if you watch the last show on award shows, but I am just happy when the boys are happy, and I'm sure they're proud of this award, because I saw a video from their Wembley show, and they talked about like how the army in the UK helped them break down a wall and get to perform at Wembley. Like that's a massive stadium, and that's a massive show. And RM credits the army they always credit the army, which is awesome. But so what they're nominated with the Foo Fighters, Haim, Run the Jewels, and Irish post-punk band Fontaines DC. I don't know who they are, but it's a Brit Award, so it makes sense that they would nominate a.
So for the best international group category, that's
the award they're going for. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess Irish are technically, yeah, they are. They're only part of it's part of England, I think. But anyway, so yeah, so that's big, like, you know, and they probably have a good chance of winning that one. Hopefully, you know, Britain's not as blind as the Grammys, but we'll see what happens. And what was the last news item we had there, Russell?
There are 5 BTS songs that were banned from broadcasting networks in South Korea. There were 5. Do you want me to list the 5?
Yes, please do.
Okay, so these are the 5 songs that were banned. Converse High, Cypher Part 3, Intro, Nevermind, Dope, and Pied Piper.
Okay, so from what I remember, like I mean I've heard all these songs many times. Most of the subject matter for most of these are how tough it is to grow up, you know, as a teen in Korean society and be able to like express yourself and kind of be who you are, because it's a very conservative nation. You know, like, you know, we're a semi-conservative nation. You know, we're a little bit half and half, but I guess South Korea is a little bit more 60-40 at least. So probably more, but at the same time, it's the great thing about BTS is this is kind of doors they've been breaking down, that it's part of an overall revolution that has started before BTS, obviously, about, you know, just being who you are. You know, if you're not hurting anybody, who cares how you want to live your life? Like it's your life to like, be you. Love yourself, as you know, as BTS always says. So and then I think off pod T-Shug let me know that Cypher Part 3 got banned because of all the curse words, which is awesome because I do love when they curse. But that is an angry, so that all the ciphers are really like hard. Like they're not and you can never call them bubblegum pop. Like they have a few songs that are BTS, I'm sure they do, but people who think that's all they are, they like Gene Simmons, we talked last time. Really don't know what they're talking about, but we're not going to get on him again. He doesn't deserve any more airtime.
So these are they old songs or what?
Most of these, yeah, are from their school. I'll get a confirmation on that from T-Shug, but most of them are from the School Affair era and Young Forever, or is it Young Forever?
It's Dark and Wild.
Oh, that's the Dark Wild period. Okay, yeah, that's like second X. That's
That
early.
Right, not all of them. One of them is from the mini album right after Dark and Wild, but
Yeah.
that's from their early stuff.
Yeah.
Early
Well,
stuff.
yeah. Cypher Part 3 was toward. It wasn't. I mean, I guess it was kind of early, but anyway. But yeah, the ciphers are all like they're usually very aggressive, and awesome. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for news. And I think right now we're gonna take a break, and we'll come back, and we got a big long segment on. If you guys haven't seen this, you should. So I'm going to say somewhat spoilers. I don't know if we get spoilers for a talk show, but you quiz show on the block. Is that what's the full title? I think is the title, and then the other one is Let's BTS. So a couple of shows online you can see right now, and in English subtitles as well. If you do not speak Korean, like Russell and I do not speak Korean, but working on it. Anyway, we'll see you very soon. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Bangtan Gentlemen. And let's get right into our second segment. So like I said earlier, and T-Shug, please correct me on this if I'm wrong. The name of the show is Your Quiz Show, or You Quiz Show on the Block, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then there's another talk show called, I assume it's called Let's, and then the name of the show is just Let's, and then Let's BTS. So I assume it's Let's, and then whatever guests they have on. I don't know the backgrounds of these shows. I was going to research that before the show, but I stupidly did not. So Russell, you said you got to watch Quiz Show, but not the Let's BTS, right?
Right. I got to see the quiz show. I watched all of it.
Okay, cool. By the way, I don't know if I've said this on air, but you look very handsome.
Oh, thank you.
I like that look there.
Yep.
I like that look.
Because I was inspired. Whenever I watch BTS videos, I see the way they dress. It's like I want to try dressing up, even though I'm working from home. So I got the purple tie and.
Dude, you look good, man. You look good, and yeah, you're right. They are impeccably dressed when no matter what music video they're in, no matter what situation, they just they never look silly. You know, it's funny thing is just not to go too off the rails. I just love when they wear those Disney, like the Disney or the cartoon stuff. Like I remember Suga wears that really glammed up Snow White shirt in the Idol video, and I'm like, I want to wear that. So and I wouldn't have been comfortable to wear that 2 years ago before I knew who BTS was. But if I found that in a store, I would buy the hell out of that thing and I'd wear it. But the Snow White's one of the greatest movies ever. Of course, I would be proud to have her on my chest. Anyway, let's get back into the quiz show. Quiz show is it's kind of half variety show, half talk show, which it seems like there's a lot of those in Korea because that's what they call Let's BTS as well, or BTS called it a variety show. So Russell, what first of all, what stood out most to you in that show, in the quiz show? What was your favorite kind of moment or segment, I should even say?
That's a very good question, Dan. Because the two things that stood out, because that's the only thing I could speak on is what stood out to me.
Yeah.
The first thing that stood out to me was the very, very beginning when they enter the compound. I don't know where they are, but it's it's outdoor courtyard area. Yeah. And there's chairs set up, and then
those are little tiny chairs, aren't they?
Yeah.
One of the hosts falls over, and I'm like, well, duh. That chair is the size of one butt cheek. But anyway.
Yeah. What stood out to me was the two hosts, the way they greeted them. They greeted them with hugs as if they already knew each other, as if they're the longtime friends, or they're just genuinely happy to see each other. So that stood out to me. I was like, oh, what's their relationship? I don't know. Or do they act like this on every talk show or every game show?
Well, I mean, BTS is very it, like I've said like so many times before, like I just want to give each one of them a hug and just thank them for being who they are. I think that's the way they make everybody feel. You know, it's just one of those things that people that actually get to know them and get into them, they realize like these guys are just like guys I want to hang out with and I
Yeah.
want to be friends with. And I think there is, we won't get too deep into it because I don't want to get too negative about it, but there is Teresa was telling us that there is a history between Jungkook and one of the hosts. I don't remember which one it is, but in the past where he was, the host was kind of mean to him when he was younger because he was, you know, just so much popular than everybody else on, I think it was another show. I don't think it was this show. Right, Teresa? Am I? It was a different show, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. So it was one where like they brought a bunch of celebrities together and fans vote on things, and obviously Army's strong, so Army's just voting the heck out of JK, and you know, and he's even telling people, please, you know, vote for other people too. Like, you know, it's just like don't always just me, you know. So, but it seems they made up. Like Jungkook reached out to him before the show, and they squashed their beef, and so they definitely knew each other. As far as the other guys, I have no idea. They might have, maybe they run in the same circles because they're all celebrities, you know, and they were obviously fans of the show, you know, as people. So I don't know how. It was the 100th episode, so I don't know how long this TV season is in Korea, but you know, it's obviously been on for a few years, like at least 3 or 4 maybe.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. So what struck me was they know, they don't act like they're hot shit, even though they know they're hot shit.
so humble, so humble.
That's what stood out to me.
Yeah.
And the second thing that stood out to me, if we fast forward through all the quizzes, through all the banter, we arrive at a point in the show where the rappers sing the singers' parts, and the singers rap the rappers' parts. And it is hilarious.
It's so awesome.
And very humbling. And it made me feel like, oh, like we're all human. Like it's like when I try to sing, I can't sing. So seeing RM try to sing and he can't hit the notes,
it's that was awesome. Oh no, it's awesome. No, I totally agree. And then Jungkook was like getting it all right because he can do both rap and sing. I mean, Suga says on the Let's BTS show, just to skip ahead a little bit, he does say that he thinks Jungkook is one of the most talented people he has ever seen, if not the most talented person he has ever seen. And he is, I mean, he's naturally gifted. Like all the other guys, with the exception of J-Hope with dancing, because J-Hope seems like a natural as a dancer. Like his body just seems like it was born to move. They all kind of worked at their craft. Like, you know, Jin has a natural falsetto, but he still had to work at it. You know, Jimin has a nice voice, but he had to work at that and dancing. They all had to work, whereas Jungkook, he kind of naturally, like even they talked about in this other show how he can instantly put on muscle on his frame. Like when they first saw him as a 15-year-old, the trainer or whatever they had said, this guy can put on a lot of muscle. And he's gotten bigger over the pandemic. Like he's wearing loose clothes and everything he's shown right now, but I've seen workout videos. Dude is thick. Like he's got muscles, you know, so watch out for JK. But anyway,
what about you? What stood out to you with the quiz show?
I mean, there's so many fun moments in it. Like I love the part where they brought the high school student on that did all the BTS dances. And that lady? Yeah, the girl, she like performed for them, and she was pretty cool for being like obviously a big fan of BTS. Like she was confident, she was singing, she was dancing. I liked her
because she wasn't fangirly. Like,
no.
Not that there's anything wrong with being fangirly.
No. But
it does annoy me if like a fan is like on the verge of tears or fainting, because it's like, okay, let's get beyond that. Now get to the fun stuff. Like it's nice to see a confident person not take themselves so seriously.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's uncomfortable for the celebrity too. It's like, what do I do? This person's crying, fainting I don't know what to do. But like with her, she was just so loose and she was having fun, but she was still excited. Like when V went up and handed her the chicken leg, she almost fainted, but like in a good way. She's like, oh my God, you know, it was really cool. She almost bumped into a tree behind her, but she plays it off. Like she's just playing with the branch. Like, no, this girl was like super confident in what she was doing. Like, I like that moment a lot. The thing you said about the lyrics was awesome. I loved the part where they were dancing with the headphones and one of them would get a different song than the others.
Oh yeah, that one.
So they had to pretend they were doing the choreography. they all did a really good job. I think Suga only guessed right once, and it seemed like he would be the one who would know the best because he knows the choreography. He knows the guys better, obviously, than the host. So, I thought that was a lot of fun, and in the interviews, when they talked about their parents and how supportive, it sure seemed that every single one of their parents was. Like V was talking about his dad and how and V was being super humble, saying, "Hey, my dad's way more handsome than I am," and his dad's handsome, but come on, V. I mean, Russell, you've said this before. That's one handsome man. Like any man would feel very insecure standing next to V.
Oh, definitely.
Like we like, Tay, you go over there, bro, because you're just a little too good looking. Okay, so just go hang over there. Actually, they're all really good looking. They'd all make me like feel like, all right, I'm gonna put a bag over my head now. I guess like, nah. But the good thing about BTS, the whole point of them is that doesn't matter, and they're super humble. When every single one of them, when they get praised, they just start blushing. Their ears get all red.
I mean, my question is, are they in some way media trained? Like, are they self-aware that this is the persona that works the best? Like,
I don't know, man, because it does, like, when you watch the stuff that's the more candid stuff, the candid videos when they're just hanging around themselves, for me it's a lot better because they have a lot more fun, and they're all funny men, and they all have a great time with each other. But it's one of those things that, like, you can tell they're somewhat uncomfortable in the interview stuff, even though they feel a little more comfortable, obviously, when they're in their own language, as opposed to when they're on Jimmy Fallon, where they were like, and they say in Let's Be BTS how they mastered the art of reacting. RM does all the talking, and then they do all the reacting, even though half the time they don't know what the heck they're talking about, unless RM translates, which he sometimes does. But yeah, it's one of those things that, like, some of them, like Jin is very natural in front of, he's very confident in front of celebrities. I'm sorry, interviewers. But yeah, I'm sure they're somewhat trained. I mean, they're trained in everything else, so it makes sense that they are. But to me, it seems like it's also their least favorite thing to do, which I think most celebrities, that's the thing. It's like, it's kind of like, because you have to sell yourself, and it's kind of uncomfortable, but still feel like you're not selling yourself. Like it's probably one of the press tours are obviously from the celebrities that I've known, that's the most uncomfortable they can get. So, yeah. But anyway, let's see what, God, there were so many cool moments in that show. I was just like, I had my notes, darn it, and I left my notes at work. But there was a moment, this was really strange. It's probably part of a BTS song, but when they cut back from commercial, there was the first note of the song Step by Step by New Kids on the Block. Step by step, like it went step like that, and it stopped, and I was like, wait. And I played it like 5 or 6 times, and I'm like, that's probably part of a BTS song, but the beginning note is very New Kids on the Block, and it even sounds like the New Kids singing it.
Oh.
But like I said, it was part of the show, though. It wasn't necessarily, it wasn't BTS related. So it might have been something a sound bite they put in the show. But anyway, I just thought it was interesting because that's obviously a throwback to one of the classic boy bands, American boy bands. So anyway, so yeah, Russell, you should definitely really see Let's BTS. Like it's a lot of fun. They do this round table thing where they all wrote letters to each other.
What?
It's not like long letters. It's just like, what do you want to hear from this person, or what do you want to say to this person? So they have them in an envelope, and the member who's going to give it to somebody, they have one of those, I don't know what they're called, but like in the Chinese restaurants, they have those circular.
Susan.
Is that what they're called? Lazy Susans?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so Lazy Susans, which is not just, I saw an Italian restaurant once too. I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. So they have one of those. So they put the letter on there, and they spin the wheel, and they stop the letter where who it's to. So like Jimin gave it to Jungkook. There was a bunch of letters that went around, and it was, the whole point was for them to like say something that they wouldn't normally say to each other, you know, and like a lot of them were like, you know, we love you, I like you, you're the best this, you're the best that, you know, like they call RM the best leader, like it's just a natural thing. I think was it Sugar who said it? I don't remember who it was, but and then Jimin, funny one was Jimin because he accused Jungkook of always copying him. Like he's like, you're always copying him. It's like you were born in I think it's Busan. I don't know, am I saying that right? Tisha, is that the name of the city? Oh, you know what it is, Russell?
It's Busan.
Busan. Okay. So Jimin says, you know, I was born in Busan first, and then Jungkook was born in, you know, like he starts off joking that way, but saying like how in the beginning he kept copying him. And he's like, even the way he dresses. And he's like, look at the way you're dressed now. And then RM goes, yeah, but the stylist gave him that all those clothes. So it's just like, it's just some fun. It's another candid moment because it's just them. Like there's no hosts. So it's just them around the table. And like they said, one of my favorite moments is they is it Jimin? No, it's Jungkook. Jungkook gives one to J-Hope. And he says, you know, when Hobie like tells you good job, like you did good job at dancing, you know, it's like the best compliment. Like it gets you so pumped because everybody respects his dancing, and he is the choreographer of the group. And I mean, I think they have a choreographer, but I mean, he of the 7, he's the one that, you know, does the steps and knows the steps the most. And they say, and then Jin said it, and they all start laughing, and they're like, yeah, but when you say it, Jin, it sounds like you're being sarcastic and you're insulting, because he's such a clown. He really is. And he says it, he's like, and I'm not going to even try to say the Korean way, but he says, you know, Jungkook, you're a great dancer. And I think he goes, what does he do? Oh, he goes like this, Jungkook, you're a great dancer. He goes like that. And then he's like, what's wrong with that? And everybody's like laughing. He's like, why are you stroking your chin? It's obviously you're joking. You're not being serious. So we can't take the compliment seriously. So anyway, and then like, you know, V is like the best friend you could have in the group. And he's super honest, and he doesn't change, and he's super consistent, but at the same time unpredictable, which I thought was interesting how they can call him both of those things. But that's just shows you how deep all these guys are in general, like how many layers there are to each one of them. So, and we're just scratching the surface. So now what I want to know is, and Tisha, you can answer me this. They talk about how they were early on, guys living in the house for the first time, youngins, you know, teenagers. And they said, you can go back and those videos are all online of them first starting. Where do I find those videos?
They're probably Bangtan TVs.
Okay.
And you just go through their YouTube channel.
So they're there because I haven't seen anything that old. Most of the stuff because I want to see stuff like, that shows them in the house or them at the training facility and all that stuff, all the behind the scenes stuff, not just the, you know, the V lives and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if there's a ton. I don't think there's a ton at the training facilities, but there's certainly a lot from when they were living in their 1-bedroom dorm together.
One-bedroom dorm?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, no, it was 2-bedroom. It was 2-bedroom, one, and they didn't have a real bathroom. They had to go downstairs, or they had to go run to the mall or something. Like RM was saying that, like that was like it was 7 guys in one place. So anyway, so guys, Russell, number 1, go watch Let's BTS. You know, after we don't have to work tomorrow, bro. It's a union holiday. You don't have to work. So go watch that. And everybody else out there, if you haven't watched the quiz show or Let's BTS, do it, because I mean, spending any amount of time with these guys will just brighten your day, and seeing them in this light really brightens your day. So we're gonna take a break. When we come back, there's gonna be a ranty part of this podcast, but I'll make it short, and I'll let Russell chime in too, because we don't want too much negativity, but these things need to be said. Anyway, we will be right back. We're back, Bangtan Gentlemen. Talk some more BTS. All right, so this is the portion of the show where we're gonna get a little angry because of, you know, There's a lot of anti-Asian hate out there right now. It's not like this is a new thing. Asians facing discrimination, or for some reason I grew up. I grew up around people who believed, oh, nobody's ever racist against the Asians. I was like, you kidding me? So I mean, ever since the railroad, I didn't even know this until I think it was John Oliver. It's one of those shows when they were building. No, it was Amber Ruffin. Love her, by the way. When they were building the railroads, they didn't allow women to come over from China because they did not want them to fall in love, get married, and stay. How racist is that?
Oh yeah,
built your railroad.
And there are laws where Asians couldn't I think it was testify in court or like.
Yeah, I'm sure they didn't have a vote.
Yeah, they had no rights, and so like if there were crimes against them, they couldn't do anything about it.
No, pretty much murdering an Asian was just like stepping on an ant. Meant nothing.
Yeah. So BTS finally put out a Stop Asian Hate statement. Just a few days ago they did that. I'll bring it up here. I'll share it right now. So it says here, hashtag Stop Asian Hate, Stop AAPI Hate. And I guess I'll just read it out loud.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, it says, we send our deepest condolences to those who have lost their loved ones. We feel grief and anger. We recall moments when we faced discrimination as Asians. We have endured expletives without reason and were mocked for the way we look. We were even asked why Asians spoke in English. We cannot put into words the pain of becoming the subject of hatred and violence for such a reason. Our own experiences are inconsequential compared to the events that have occurred over the past few weeks. But these experiences were enough to make us feel powerless and chip away our self-esteem. What is happening right now cannot be dissociated from our identity as Asians. It required considerable time for us to discuss this carefully, and we contemplated deeply on how we should voice our message. But what our voice must convey is clear. We stand against racial discrimination. We condemn violence. You, I, and we all have the right to be respected. We will stand together. Yeah, and that's the end.
A friggin' men. Well, I don't want to say anything, Russell, because I'm not Asian. So I want to hear from you, man. Like, is this something you have experienced your entire life, or is this just gotten absolutely worse?
It's something that I have experienced my entire life, and I guess that's why I'm angry a lot. But they're called microaggressions, meaning that they're so small that they weren't enough for us to speak up on, right? And these are just normal everyday interactions that seem harmless but are. Like, for example, like whenever I meet people and I notice that they'll ask me, oh, where are you from? And then you have that, oh, I'm from California, or I'm from Daly City, San Francisco. No, where are you really from? I'm like, I'm really from here. Because that implies that, no, you're not from here. They don't believe you. And it's harmless. People don't think that because they're trying to ask, oh, like, what's your ethnicity, right? That's what they were trying to ask. But then it's like, why do you want to know my ethnicity? You clearly see I'm Asian, right? And so like I don't go up to white people and be like, oh, where are you really from? So, oh, I'm from California. No. What's your European history? Like, I don't ask white people that.
You look more Icelandic than American.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird because like those kind of interactions is like it's only to satisfy a curiosity because like, and it's harmless, it's meaningless to those people who are asking because they're asking just to ask where they want to just kind of connect, but at the same time it's like annoying because they're like, oh no, oh, where are your parents from is what they would say if I say, oh, where I'm really from is from here. It's like, oh, where are your parents from? Like, oh, my mom's from Utah. And it's like,
oh, so she's Mormon. Okay.
Yeah. That's where it goes. It's just where it goes, me personally. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I know what you're really asking. You're really asking what my ethnicity is. Is it that important for you to know what my ethnicity is? What will it do for you?
Yeah.
I'm Chinese, or I'm Korean, or I'm Filipino. What do you think? Doesn't matter. It's like, so.
And But here's the thing: if you're curious, like I am somebody who's very, very curious about many different cultures, and if I, and I, there's a way to ask that without being offensive. Like it's just. But number one, it doesn't come in your first meeting with somebody. It comes when you've become comfortable with the person enough to say, like for me, people sometimes can't figure out what I am. I've gotten Persian, I've gotten Hispanic, which was what I am. I've even gotten Italian, which is also what I am. But sometimes people look at me and they just can't figure out, but they know I'm not white, even though I'm 100% white, because Mexicans are Caucasian. There's a reason. I think I've said this. There's a reason it says on there Caucasian, non-Hispanic, because the Caucasians need to separate us. And that's the same exact thing you're talking about, Russell. It's the need to divide us. There's nothing wrong with the world being a wonderful tapestry of different colors and cultures, and that's the way it should be. We shouldn't all be the same. That's boring. God, no. But at the same time, we should be respected as the same, respected in the same way. And, if you're going to ask that question, give me a detailed version of your background. Did your parents come over on the Mayflower, or did they come over as immigrants in the 1900s? If you're really interested in where I am from, let's hear your story first, and then maybe I'll be comfortable enough to give you mine.
Yeah, what's funny is that okay, so I'm reading the BTS statement, and it took them a while to respond, right? And it's like, who wrote that? Like, it's not a single person from the group. It's not Jimin, it's not V, it's not.
No, I'm sure they worked on it together. I'm sure.
They worked on it together.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. I mean, obviously, RM put it into English, but
here's the thing with BTS though. They're Korean, like they're from the country of Korea. So if they're in Korea, they're not going to experience racism because that country is like majority Korean, like ethnic Koreans, right?
Yeah. It's when they go elsewhere.
So the statement that they're saying is like, it's very important because to me, when BTS says it, it means they're announcing to the world who don't give a shit about us. Like for me, my experience, like being a Chinese person, like when I go back to China, the Chinese people there think I'm an odd person because I can't speak the language, or it's like I'm a person who left China because they sucked, and then I just come to visit them and treat them like they're foreigners. And it's like, no, we're not foreigners. Like, you're a foreigner.
Yeah.
And that's the Asian American experience, is constantly feeling like you're a foreigner in your own home. So and then constantly feeling like being paranoid that what other people really think of you.
Yeah.
It's not just white people, right? It's like it's people of different ethnicities that make me.
Oh yeah, totally.
Asian feel that way too. So it's like every ethnic person has their own story. Like, particularly with Asians, you're either an immigrant or refugee, or if you're Black, your history is like you were taken from your continent by slavers, or with Hispanics, like you were taken, you were already on this land, and
we were taken over.
Yeah, you were already here. So it's different. Like, you're either taken, you're already here, or you are escaping from a country that's terrible. So anyway, but
no, keep going.
Yeah,
preach.
But no, like, I can go on and on about this forever, but like the main thing is being made to feel like you don't belong here, and constantly hearing, go back to China. Like, it doesn't matter whether you're Japanese, Indonesian, Thai, or whatever. It's people saying, go back to China. And it's like really insulting, because it's like, well, I'm not Chinese. And secondly, like, go back to China means we don't want you here. Go back to where you came from.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna go back to Daly City. See ya.
Yeah, it's like, or I'm not gonna cuss, but we're gonna kill you. We're gonna beat you up. We'll force you out. We're gonna harass you. We're gonna like burn down your house. We're gonna steal your car. We're gonna kill your family members. We're gonna like kick your dog. Like, and it's just like this happened to Arden Cho. She's like this YouTube person. Like, today, she like posted about how it was her second time getting assaulted by a man while she was walking her dog, like getting yelled at, like for being Chinese, not Chinese, but Asian, like constantly feeling afraid to leave your house in public. It's just, it's not a nice feeling. It's definitely, it's not just like, I'm not just scared of white people. I'm just scared of everybody who anybody, because you don't know what they look like.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. Monsters come in a lot of different forms. For the most part, most of these people that are saying these are cowards and they're not going to actually do those things. However, there are a few that are. And like you said, you don't know which one is going to.
Like I saw like this week was a Manhattan attack. The older Filipino lady, like this big dude, like approached her and stomped on her head multiple times, and then the security guards closed the door on her after they witnessed
what was going on. Yeah,
they
didn't try to help. Yeah,
they didn't even bother to help her or check on her. Like,
that just proves how useless most of those store security guards are.
Yeah, and it's cowardly for the attacker because the guy was big.
That's what I'm saying. They're all cowards. He's not going to go after a guy that can physically take him.
So you fucking pick on someone your own size. Why are you picking on an elderly person? Like, why an old lady or old man? Like, why?
Cowards. It's
Because you
just
can. And it turned out the guy like murdered his mother. He stabbed his mother. Like, he was parole. Like, why are you out of jail? Like, oh my God. That's just one incident of many incidences that happened this week. So
no, I feel you, man. Anyway. I can't. No, dude, it's fine. It's fine. That's why I wanted to let you go. Like, you should be able to vent on that. And I was gonna. There's a thing that happened online, and we're gonna wrap this up real fast and go to a break right now because before we get too incensed. But there's a guy, who on YouTube. I'm not gonna mention his name because I don't want to give him any attention because that's what he wanted. He tapped into the K-pop because he knew how big K-pop was, and he knew if he started doing something K-pop, he would get the attention and get everybody on board. And it kind of is happening, which I'm afraid it would happen. But that's why I'm not going to help him. Anyway, he got all upset at K-pop fans because they attacked him for a rap that he did talking about Chinese lead singers. I always get his name wrong. John Hong, I think. Am I right there, Teresa? Am I getting it wrong?
I still don't know how to say his name. So
okay, all right, that's fair. I won't make. All right, it's. I think it's Jong Hoon. It's JONGHYUN, I believe. But anyway, he was a very, very talented young man, and unfortunately, he took his own life, a few years ago because of the pressure of being famous, and that's something that the K-pop world deals with. That's something with celebrities deal with in general. Like, people think that they're all just happy and go lucky because they're millionaires and everything. No, it's not. Everybody can suffer. Anybody can suffer from depression. Doesn't matter who you are. And this guy went off on how he's like, oh, I totally get now why these kids commit suicide because of the industry. He thought he was saying something, sympathetic, but the way he said it, and then he used the images from the funeral. And the whole point is, like, he got mad at K-pop fans because they said, anytime anybody says anything about K-pop, you guys jump down their throats, no matter what it is, and you shout racism, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, no, bro, your rant just shows how much you missed the point. Who are you to show video? I don't care if it's on YouTube. Who are you to show video of somebody's funeral to sell your music?
Oh my God.
I mean, come on, bro. This has nothing to do with K-pop fans. This has to do with human decency. That is not decent, okay? Especially the reason you're doing it. You're doing it because you were tapping into the K-pop fandom that you're attacking now. And do you understand that K-pop fans have disrupted governmental things? Bro, you're not going to win. So just stop. Be you. Love yourself. Stop being a hater. Get the point. And we're going to move on. All right.
Get the point.
Get the point. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk about their music, and we're going to wrap this up real quick because we want to end on a good note. Anyway, love you all. Love BTS. We'll see you in a sec. We're back. Bangtan Gentlemen with Daniel and Russell. So this is the last segment of the show. It's not going to be too long. We're just going to, I mean, because everybody out there loves BTS's music, and I mean, that's why we're all here. So what I wanted to do was, first of all, they got a new album coming out. I want to say June. Am I wrong?
It's
I think it's June. I don't know when in June, but sometime in June. And what it is it's a compilation. It's a best of songs that have already been recorded, but these are all songs recorded in Japanese. So they have 2 Japanese albums, Teresa, or just one?
They have more than 2. I think they have 5.
5?
Oh, wow.
All right. So this is so maybe some of these have already been recorded in Japanese. It's just a compilation from those albums, and then some that have not yet been recorded in Japanese until now. So
it's a compilation album. I think it's like their hits.
I think
it comes out in 2016. It's called BTS, the best.
The best. So yeah. So
I already listened to Spring Day in Japanese anyway, so I've been listening to that song in Japanese. So it's not new. It's just
I here's the thing with me. I've been trying to like avoid the Japanese versions just because I'm trying to learn Korean.
Yes.
So they don't sound exactly the same, Japanese and Korean, but there are similarities in certain like, maybe it's just because BTS is Korean and they're saying it in their accents, but there's certain accents that sound, because I asked my friend Kevin, who is Japanese, he and I don't know if I mentioned this on the last show, but he reminded me that I've actually been into J-pop before I was into K-pop. Back I was listening to music with him in high school in the 90s. But anyway, he said that in phonetically written, Japanese and Korean are in no way similar. So so it is a challenge for BTS to do this. It's not like, you know, an Italian speaking Spanish or vice versa, where there's a lot of words that are similar. It's not the same, but there's sounds that are similar. It's just not, the words aren't the same. But anyway, so they have a new single from that album, Film Out. Fantastic song. I heard it. Did it come out today or yesterday? I think it came out today.
Yeah, it came out.
Yeah, just today. And Jungkook is the main writer on that song, the main composer. The cool thing is like, I mean, Suga and RM have been writing the lyrics and producing the songs for a long time, but pretty much since the beginning. And this is just a teaser. Because I was like, they haven't shown the music video yet, have they?
Oh, they did. They dropped it.
They dropped the music video? I haven't seen the music video yet. Okay, I have to see it. So anyway, but lately, you know, Jungkook and Jimin and Jin, well, J-Hop's always written too. He's always written his own raps, at least. I think, well, I take it back. I think some of them write some stuff for him. But also during kind of a flashback to that Let's BTS thing, they all called Suga the best producer, which they've said that before.
Oh wow!
And Jin was like upset. Like his letter was to Suga saying, "Where's that song? You said you're going to give me a song. I want a song. I'll write the lyrics, and you write this, and you give me the song." And Suga's like, "Hey, I just wrote one. You can have it." You know, like I mean, the dude like just literally like probably writes in his sleep. He's probably like laying down and just like, doesn't even open his eyes. He just starts writing. Like I can see him doing that. Like that's how much of an artist he is. Because he even says on the Let's BTS that he thought his career as a singer and rapper would be over by now, and he would be a producer already. So anyway, so new song, Film Out, new video, check it out. It's a fantastic song. So Russell, real quick, what is there any songs that you're listening to right now that stand out in your like any BTS songs that it's just like, you know, besides
right
Film
now,
Out?
Right now it's Film Out because I've only listened to it once, and I did that on purpose because I wanted to sit with it, and it's a ballad, right? It's a ballad. I don't know what to think of it yet because it's not Dynamite, so it definitely doesn't like make me want to jump up and dance or anything like that. It's a mood piece, and so like I'm trying to understand. I don't know what the lyrics mean. I mean it
says it right there, dude.
Yeah.
It's translating it for you. Anyway, okay, cool. So that and is there any older songs you're listening to right now, or any of the songs?
Life Goes On is one of those songs because it's very similar to this new one. But
Yeah, it doesn't
hopefully
get.
BTS fans don't think I'm like, hey, they don't all sound the same. No, they don't. It's just
That's not what you're saying. I know that. I know that. Anyway, so for me, like the most things I'm really listening to right now are Burning Up, aka Fire, mostly because I know what the Korean phrase I think that Suga says in the beginning. He says "bultonome," which I think is either on fire or it's fire, but it's similar. I freaking love that song. That song hits hard. Epiphany by Jin. It's a solo song by Jin. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. It showcases his voice. Like, I love his voice. I love all their voices. Don't get me wrong, but that song. What's that?
No, I'm just watching the music video right now.
Yeah, I know. It's distracting me. I'm trying to do a podcast here, and you got music video going on over here on the left-hand side here, Mr. Russell. Anyway, and the other song I wanted to talk about is something that I've been trying to beat you over the head with, and that's Dachuera. And it's a song by August D, which is Suga's alter name. By the way, did you know why his name's Suga? It's not because of sugar. It's Suga because that's his favorite position in basketball, shooting guard.
Yeah, shooting guard.
And he's a basketball player. And he's really good. He's a really good basketball player. He thought he was going to, actually start playing that in school and everything. He's a little short, but I guess in Korea, I don't know what the height average is in Korea, but I think RM's the tallest, and I want to say he's 5'11". So, but anyway, so that's what I'm really listening to right now. And obviously I'm listening to the crap out of the album B, with Dynamite and Life Goes On and Blue and Gray and
Blue and Gray. That's what I'm listening to.
Telepathy. And I love Fly to My Room.
Fly to My Room. That's a good
one. Such a good song. Reminds me of the old Beach Boys song, In My Room, which is also one of my favorite songs. Anyway, so if Russell, can you get out of this view real quick? Because I got to check something off this screen. So that is pretty much all we got time for in the show today. But we're going to go to one more break, and then we're going to come back, give our just final thoughts of the day, and then say goodbye to everyone. And and we'll move on. Actually, before we go, I also want to say this. There are also 3 other bands that, thanks to T-Shug and our good friend and producer, Angela Mock, they introduced me to these 3 other groups that I am finding fantastic. One is Shiny. I freaking love Shiny. I'm going through their albums chronologically, so that's just the way I do things. I have to start from the beginning. So them, Blackpink, which I think I've talked about before. Freaking love Blackpink. How could you not love them? Those girls are amazing. And Rose's new song is fantastic. Gone, I believe the title is. Super M, which Angie told me about them a long time ago, and I liked them when I first heard them. It's just at the time I was just so BTS at the moment, BT obsessed. I couldn't really. I didn't have any room in my heart yet for another band, but now I'm starting to really, like I said, really getting all the stuff in K-pop, trying to sample as much as I can. But these 3 bands so far have stood out. So Russell, if you haven't checked those guys out, all 3 of those, please do.
Okay.
Please do. All right. We're going to come back and say goodbye to everybody right after these messages. See you soon. We're back, ladies and gentlemen, and we won't be back for very long because it's time to go. So let's say goodbye to, who I got here. The Sugar right there in the end. You got J-Hope here, Jin, Halsey. Hi, Halsey. There's Jimin, V, just Jungkook, and then RM. Wait, no, is that Jungkook right there? Yeah, Jungkook.
Yeah.
He's just exactly. So, but he's the only one I didn't say, so it has to be him. I don't even know what is the Teresa. Do you know what this picture is from? I don't even know what performance this is.
Is Halsey in there?
Yeah, she's right there. See, she's right.
Billboard Music Awards.
Maybe I have seen this one. I want to watch it again because I don't remember it. Anyway, all right, cool. Russell, do you have any final thoughts before we say goodbye to everybody?
No, I'm just happy to be here, and I love BTS.
Yes, I'm happy you're here too, and I love BTS too, and I'm happy that they, like I said, introduced me to this world, wonderful world called K-pop, and it's so much more than just music, though. It's like it's a movement. It really is, and it gives me hope for the future because I really do think this next generation is going to save the world. We just can't destroy it before they get it. You know, the Greta Thunbergs of the world and stuff. So, and that I wish I could remember her name, the girl who did the poet at Biden's inauguration.
Amanda Gorman, or no? Amanda,
is that her? No, I think that's right. That sounds right. Sounds very right. If not, we'll get it right next time because these are the people that are going to save the world. But anyway, and BTS is going to help them along the way because everybody continue to love yourself, love BTS, love everybody around you, even the ones that hate you. Just don't go near them though. All right. We'll see you next time, everybody. Bangtan Gentlemen, Danny Villalobos, and
Russell Fung.
bye. And Teresa and Angela, sorry. Bye, everybody.